Daniel Bombardier is using a fire extinguisher to create his latest work. Mr. Bombardier is spray bombing the walls of Artcite Gallery for an exhibition opening Friday called Creative Destruction. Bombardier, who also goes by the name Denial, is a graffiti and mixed media artist who sees himself bridging street art into tangible ideas.
Just to show graffiti and the techniques used in a different light, in a more positive light.
After a year off due to construction at the Volmer Recreation Complex, the Fahrenheit Festival of Fire sculpture is returning to LaSalle this weekend. CTV reporter Christy Bazaire introduces us to two local artists who spent months on sculptures, fully expecting that they'll go up in flames.
Dennis Bolahan and Steve Daggle have spent countless hours creating one-of-a-kind masterpieces. But these sculptures won't last long, as they've been built for destruction.
I think everybody likes to have a bonfire in their backyard. It's theatrical, it's kinetic, people can come, spend an hour and a half, see some sights, and they can go away with a feeling that they saw something they've never seen before.
Bolahan went to a similar event in France about 12 years ago. The next summer, he hosted the first Fahrenheit Festival in front of about 100 people in his backyard. It was an immediate hit, growing to about 2,000 spectators at the last event.
They invited me out to watch it, and I instantly caught the bug because it looked like a very interesting art form, very unusual, very ephemeral, to say the least.
Daggle has contributed sculptures for 7 years now.
It's 22 feet when it's open to the top.
He says this moving flower is the first sculpture he'll be a little sad to see go.
Once the sculptures are complete and on display, they're stuffed and covered in hay to make them extra flammable.
This year, 11 artists will feature pieces, most of them returning contributors. Bolahan admits it can be hard to convince new artists to dedicate months for about 10 minutes of spectacle, but he says it's worth the commitment.
It's a chance to do something on a monumental scale.
I guess the payoff is when people see it and they really get excited about it, and it's a very short burst, but it's a big burst.
Christy Bezaire, CTV News.
Wow. Fahrenheit Festival takes place this Saturday at the Pond Park of the Volmer Recreation Complex. Doors open at 6 p.m. as they say. The big art burn begins around 8:30, dusk. Entry fee is $5 for adults and just $1 for children, Sunday being the rain date.
Artcite Incorporated is hosting their 32nd annual Do in the Louvre art show and sale. The show features over 700 unique pieces of art in a variety of mediums. Bernard Helling, Artcite's artistic coordinator, says the show is about creating accessibility for artists and art lovers alike.
Nothing is priced over $99.99. All the art on the wall is pretty well fresh, made by area artists, and available for $99.99 or much, much less.
Martin Stevens has been a volunteer with Artcite since the 1980s and assisted with the setup for this year's show.
This is an old-fashioned, we'd say Victorian way of hanging a show, and one never sees shows like this. It's not the way that this is done in a traditional gallery. Here at a contemporary art gallery, we can mimic the styles of the past, or we can do a contemporary exhibition. Here we like it because it's so much more art. There's over 700 pieces here.
Poster artist Greg Maxwell is participating in the show for his first time. He has been making concert posters for local venues and music acts for the past 3 years and welcomes the opportunity to share his work.
It's a good place for your art to be seen, with the idea of it's going to be purchased and the money's going to the artist, as well as Artcite, which is also important.
A portion of sales goes to Artcite's fundraising efforts, helping to keep the gallery doors open for another year.
To see the show for yourself, visit Artcite Incorporated at 109 University Avenue West. The show runs through to December 24th for all of your holiday shopping needs. For more information, visit artcite.ca. For Mediaplex News Now, I'm Murad Zinchlioglu.
The extent to which you're able to defend your rights is the extent to which you have security. So when I thought about the precariat and precarious work, those people who are in that type of work is everybody. If you look at, there was retirees from CUPE who worked in the public ward and the private ward. They just had their benefits after retirement stolen. The government just said, oh, we're taking them. Those people are now precarious. Everyone thought they had rights, they weren't precarious, now they are. Everyone has been thrown into a situation of precarity, even those workers that were unionized and supposedly had good positions.
Please mention the trillionaires.
Right. They're not in a situation of precariousness at all. But the point I want to make is that everyone, it's in the fight for everyone's rights that we have security. So that's what I wanted to leave with you tonight. And I really got something when I was talking to the artists who built this. And even though it may seem kind of random and the pieces are in random places, there's a definite structure here that came out of the necessity of having to have it stand up. And we learned that this year as teachers, that we have to come up with new structures in our unions and in society to stand up to what's happening today. Because what we're going through today wasn't what happened in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, and those old structures are kind of holding us back. So the structures have to come out of your real life, and they can be beautiful when they come out of real life necessity and problem solving. So I really want to mention that when I look at these artists. So hopefully, I really encourage everyone to go to all the events of Mayworks. It's a really amazing festival. It gives us a chance to have synergy, to talk, and to reflect. So I hope you go to all the events, and I